Okay. Our next question goes to J.R. Davis.
All right, Mr. Hutchinson, obviously one of the biggest stories for more than a year now across the state has been the private option in the legislature. You recently referred to the private option healthcare plan in the state of Arkansas as a pilot program. In business, many pilot programs may be dissolved without recourse. However, if the private option is problematic, how would you end the program and close the health insurance gap created by its end?
If we ended the private option? Well, first of all, let me just talk in the larger context that while our Democratic opponent was out supporting a national reform of health care, I was out there opposing Obamacare, and nothing has been as harmful to our small business, to our freedoms, as the Affordable Care Act. Arkansas has been put in a difficult position on the debate on the private option because we needed to help our rural hospitals. There's a need for health care in this state, and so our legislature came up with this more conservative approach to put Medicaid dollars in the private sector to what we call as the private option. I see it as a test. It might work. The big question is whether it's affordable over the long term as the state picks up a small percent of this in the coming years. So we have to measure it and see whether it works. The question is if it ends, what will we do? You're basically telling these people that have a Blue Cross or another private insurance policy, your policy is terminated, you've got to look for alternatives. We'll need to provide some kind of incentives for employers to pick it up or some other means, hopefully, to fill that gap, and it could be the traditional Medicaid. I hope that it works. I hope that we can afford it. I hope it continues to provide the benefit for our rural hospitals.
Mr. Coleman, you've indicated your third and final token to respond. You have 60 seconds.
Thank you so much. In fact, I will say, and most people know that to follow my campaign, that I believe that the private option was a mistake from the very beginning all the way through. I've never changed my position. I've been consistent about it from the start to finish. I don't know how you call the largest single expansion of government a conservative option, and I don't think it is a conservative option. What I proposed for Arkansas, and that there was a thorough plan for it, and there still is that instead of putting more people on Medicaid, let's create an economy in Arkansas where fewer people need Medicaid. But what we did with the private option is we took the economy of Arkansas in entirely the wrong direction. We slowed us down. We changed the opportunity that we had to create a better economy and more revenue and more income and better salaries and better jobs for every Arkansan in the state.
Mr. Hutchinson, 30 seconds.
I think it's an example of style of leadership. First of all, our legislators, good conservative Republicans, were divided on this point. They worked it out, they thrashed it out. Nate Bell from MENA proposed a reasonable alternative to stop the market of it, restrained the private option program. And so I think they've done a good job. My job is looking at 2015. And let me assure you, I'll apply conservative principles to see if this works, to make the right judgment, and make sure that it's affordable for our taxpayers.